just finished packing for a 10-day Caribbean cruise, and I thought I would go over everything that I packed and how I organized it and my whole packing process. I'm going to start with my LL Bean tote bag because this is a very cross-functional, multi-purpose piece for me on this trip. This bag is going to start as my carry-on for the plane, but I'm going to end up carrying it around as a sort of shopping bag when we go on excursions or go wandering through the ports. So one of the important reasons for why I'm using this bag on this trip is that it's one of the few bags I own that is easily able to carry my laptop sleeve. So somewhat related to the laptop is my camera case. It's not very big. I'm only taking my little Canon G7X and a sort of fake little GoPro that we have because I'm kind of nervous about having a real GoPro because they're expensive and I'm so afraid that I will lose it or drop it in the ocean or something. So in here is everything that we will need for those two cameras: chargers, battery packs, memory cards, cables. All of that is in here except for my actual G7X, which I will have down in this bag in case I need to whip it out and take a quick picture or video for any reason. Also in this bag I have a small tripod and a selfie stick. It's just the two of us on this trip, so if we want a picture of the two of us and there's no, helpful stranger around, this way hopefully we'll be able to get a better picture of the two of us. I also have a small travel wallet. This has our passports, printouts of our boarding passes just in case. We should be able to get onto the ship no problem with our medallion or our phone, but just in case I like to cover my bases. So I have printouts of our boarding passes as well as some information on our excursions and that sort of thing. So any and all travel documents are going to go in here, so they'll be accessible and conveniently located in one place. The only real downfall with this bag is that it is one very large compartment. There is no smaller zippered pouch or anything built into it, so it is just massive and I don't want to be digging around for anything little. So I have put in here a small little zippered pouch of my own. There's not much in here, just some wet wipes, lip gloss, an ink pen, and a Sharpie. It's the sort of thing that I always think can be convenient to have around and need to grab quickly when I'm traveling or just in general. Also in this bag I have a tiny stapler and some staples. We're going to use this to attach the cruise luggage tags onto our bags once we make it to Florida. And one of the last things I do the day we leave is I will add in a couple snacks, like maybe some protein bars or something like that, as well as my water bottle. And that leaves us with the last item, which is this box that our medallions came in from Princess Cruise. I have all of the stuff for both of our medallions in here together. We bought the little sports bands for them because I don't think we want to be wearing the lanyards all the time. We thought the lanyards would be a little less convenient for, say, snorkeling, so we're going to try out the sport band for that. I did bring my lanyard from a previous cruise because I don't like the tiny little narrow one that Princess sent. I have a nicer, thicker, prettier one from a previous cruise that I am bringing of my own. But everything involving the medallion is in here. I thought that this box is nice and secure. I could move it to something a little bit smaller. There's plenty of extra room in here, but I like the idea of it being nice and secure and easy to grab from inside this bag. So that finishes up the first bag for the trip, which is my carry-on. My husband, of course, is going to have his own carry-on, which will have some similar stuff, but just less in general because he's not going to have the computer and the camera and all the electronic paraphernalia that I do. When I'm traveling, especially if the trip is going to be in stages, I like to break my luggage up by those same stages. I don't want something that I'm going to need immediately once I get there to be in the same bag as something that I'm not going to need until the last couple days of the trip, because there's just no point in digging through everything over and over again, and that just sort of frustrates me. I'm like spending the whole trip looking for different things, so it works out a lot better for me if everything is a little more organized. On this particular trip, we're actually flying in the night before Embarkation, just in case we don't want to worry about any delayed flights or anything like that. And when you're flying from Pittsburgh in the fall, you never know what the weather's going to be like. We've had snow, sleet, sunny weather with shorts, it could be anything. So just in case, since you're booking cruises usually at least a little bit in advance, wanted to make sure that all our bases were covered, so we're flying in the night before. So our first suitcase is going to be things that we're going to need that first night, like pajamas, toothbrushes, that sort of thing, and the next morning before we can get into our rooms on the ship. So I've included our toiletries, like this little bag that has everything from shampoo, conditioner, toothbrushes, toothpaste, that sort of thing. Anything involved in showering or cleansing or anything like that, makeup wipes, all of that stuff is in this bag. The only exception will be my contact solution and glasses case and that kind of thing, because I'm going to need those literally the day we fly out. So those will get added into the bag just before I leave, basically. Also in bag 1 is one packing cube. This packing cube has our pajamas for the night we fly in, as well as our entire embarkation day outfits for both of us and swimsuits for both of us, because we plan on swimming that first day. So now all of that is going to be included in this first packing cube. So since we plan on swimming on embarkation day, that means that bag number 1 also includes our pool bag. Now this includes everything from sunblock to towel clips. I think there might be a small pair of goggles in here. Anything that we would need for that first day to go swimming is in here. There's probably also some extras that I just didn't want to take out of the pool bag because they're normally in there, and I didn't have another secondary location to put them. But there's really not a big deal to have a few extra things in here, because we really only plan on carrying onto the cruise ship this and my carry-on tote bag. So that's really not a lot of stuff, and having the 2 bags means that if we do have anything we pick up quickly, not a problem, we'll have somewhere to stash them. Also in bag number 1 is my dinner clutch. I definitely will be carrying this to dinner on formal nights, but probably I'll be wearing this to dinner almost every night. It's nice to have somewhere to throw like my phone, because I wear a dress to dinner most nights, even if it's not a nice fancy dress, if it's just a little sundress. And most of those don't have pockets, so it's nice for me to have somewhere to stick a note or an itinerary, my cell phone, any of that sort of little stuff. I like to have somewhere to put those, so thus this purse gets a lot of wear, not just formal night, but definitely those nights as well. Also in bag number 1 is my jewelry pouch and organizer. It snaps open and has several little separated pouches. I have a bunch of necklaces and earrings in here. I brought just a lot of stuff that goes with a lot of different things. Nothing too particular. I don't have things broken down, but this necklace goes with this dress and yada yada yada. And I definitely am bringing some of my Alex and Ani bracelets, as particularly I'm bringing ones that are very cruisy, because why not? I'll link down below where I got these new Alex and Ani bracelets. Well, new to me, very, very cheap, and how I DIY'd some that were missing charms. I just think that could be a very fun video if you're really into this. I really wasn't before, but I think I am now. I'm really liking these bracelets. So they definitely go with this pouch in bag number 1, because I'm probably going to want to throw some of these on for embarkation day. And because it's already pretty chilly here in Pennsylvania, it's going to be very hot and sunny to us in the Caribbean. So in bag number 1, we went ahead and put our sun hats. We have 2 of the same hat here, a dark gray and a light gray. It doesn't really matter, they're the same. We don't have a particular one for either of us, but we are probably going to still get sunburned, but hopefully this will help minimize that, because we both tend to burn. But maybe if we're good and we wear our hats, we will burn slightly less. And of course I'm going to be doing my hair on this trip, so I have a collection of bobby pins, a variety of sizes of hair rubber bands, all that sort of stuff is in this little container. This is technically a spice container from IKEA, but the reason I'm using it for this trip is because it's actually got a magnet on it, so I'm thinking this will be really convenient to just sort of pop this onto the wall in the bathroom. I won't be taking up any counter or cabinet space with my hair things. It'll just be like, boop, popped right on the wall, and it'll just stay there and keep everything contained and out of the way. I'm pretty excited about this. I think this is going to be amazing. And of course I'm going to be doing my makeup on this trip, so I have this bag that has makeup, and then this bag is all like the brushes and beauty blenders, that sort of thing in here. Suitcase number 2 is going to be all of my husband's clothing and accessories and all of that sort of thing. So anything that isn't his in the day 1 bag is going to be in bag number 2. It's just sort of a smaller roller bag, one of the like the hard-sided ones. So it's a reasonable size, everything fits in just fine, but it's not massive, but it is literally just his stuff. So in bag number 3 for me, I have 3 pairs of shoes. I have my very casual flip-flops, a sort of nicer pair of black sandals, and my black heels that I'll be wearing on formal nights. I also have 1 pair of white sandals that I packed, but they're in my Embarkation packing cube, so they're not in this bag. So in total, I will have 4 pairs of shoes on this trip. My first packing cube in bag number 3 is all swimwear, and I know it seems like a lot, but I absolutely despise putting on a damp swimsuit. I don't like to rewear swimsuits unless I absolutely have to on vacation. I try to rinse them out really good. We've bought those little sink suds things if we have to, but swimsuits really don't take up a lot of space for me, so I figure I would be much happier if I have extra swimsuits so I don't have to wear one that is a little bit salty or filled with chemicals from a pool or something. So this bag has lots of swimsuits as well as some cover-ups. Then this packing cube is just all sort of like the undergarments issues, anything you would need in there, bras, panties, the little spandexy shorts that I wear under my dresses, particularly on a cruise, because on that boat there will be these weird sudden drafts of wind and there is no containing them, so I always wear shorts under my dresses. I tend to wear shorts under dresses anyway, but particularly in Disney parks and on cruise ships, there are a lot of gusts of wind, so I always wear shorts underneath. And this really big packing cube is all the rest of my clothing. This has 2 dresses for formal nights, as well as a variety of little cute casual sort of sundresses that I will wear on excursions or port days or just around the ship. Just sort of really anything other than formal night, I will be wearing a lot of dresses. That's just sort of my style anyway, but I think in like, you know, a tropical setting and everything, it's just fun and cool and comfortable. So lots of dresses. I do have a variety of t-shirts and tank tops packed, and 2 pairs of shorts as well though, just in case for some reason I'm not wanting to wear a dress. Now, still in bag 3, this is not really a packing cube. This is a big zippered pouch thing that a blanket came in that we use at home, and I love the blanket, so we have had several of these cubes, and we use these a lot when we travel. I'm actually taking 2 of these on this trip. It kind of functions as a packing cube in that it keeps everything contained and organized, except it does have this opening right here on one side, which is less than ideal as a packing cube, but what makes these fantastic to have on the trip is that we set these down in the closet in our room, and then this little opening makes this a really great little like laundry hamper, so I can empty everything out of this one when I get to the room, put it in the closet, and then as we have dirty laundry, we can just chuck it in here and keep our laundry contained. And then when this cube is packed and full, I will just pull one of the empty suitcases from under the bed and tuck this right into that and then push away that suitcase, and then a whole bunch of laundry is gone and out of the way for the rest of the trip. But until we reach that destination, this cube contains everything that we will want for our cabin. For instance, this top pouch in here is our first aid kit. Also in this cube is a Lysol spray and some Clorox wipes that are supposed to be good for disinfecting the cabin. Fingers crossed. These are my big 3 for fashion emergencies while traveling. The anti-wrinkle spray is a must, as well as a lint roller and a Tide pen. Anytime I travel, I take these 3 things with me. And the last thing is this separate little zipper pouch that is literally just things I use for a cruise cabin. There's Post-it notes, markers, highlighters, there's some magnetic clips and some magnetic hooks. a Sharpie, and a few little zip ties, and a small package of tissues because I apparently like to have extra travel tissues wherever I go. I like to keep all this stuff contained. This is great if we need to make a note on our daily itinerary or leave a note for our steward or for each other, any of that sort of helpful information. I also have these little packets of sink suds that are supposed to be fantastic for doing laundry in your sink if you have something that you definitely need to rewear but got something on it, or you just want to clean up your swimsuits or something. Haven't used these yet, but have high hopes. Fingers crossed. This cube I've been calling the Excursion cube. It's literally just things that we're going to need when we leave the ship to either go into port or, more importantly, on some of the excursions that we've booked. It has both of our snorkel vests, our water shoes, extra sunblock, aloe, some extra band-aids because also always helpful, some anti-insecty repellent type bracelets, just basically anything that we're going to need to leave the ship and get comfortable but don't want to have in like my big tote bag all the time. So a little situational, and I like to keep them together for that purpose. And the last things in bag 3 are our new snorkel masks. These are those full face masks that are getting pretty popular. We just ordered these off of Amazon, so we have not had a chance to use them yet, but I will definitely be talking about them later on in some of our excursion videos, I am sure. We're pretty excited about these, so stay tuned, subscribe, and ring the bell down below to find out how these worked out for us. And that's everything I have packed for a 10-day cruise and how I broke it up into different bags to save space and keep things very organized. I hope you found this very interesting and helpful if you have a cruise coming up. If you did, please consider liking down below and subscribing and ringing the bell to get a notification every time I upload a new video. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.